So, what video do I got today up on the docket? What's this? Girl versus woman, my language matters. Is she one of those like word police that's gonna tell us you shouldn't use this word, you should use that word to not offend me? Oh boy. So let's see what we got up on the docket today and let's see what we're dealing with.
I'm going to be annoying right now because I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't want to talk about.
Okay. You can talk about whatever you want. It's your channel. As long as you're not trying to police anybody's words or anything, I'm already good.
I was recently at a bar with two guy friends who are about 40, and one of them said to the other, "Oh my god, dude, look at that girl sitting at the bar. She's beautiful."
Okay, what's wrong with that? He just said a girl was beautiful. So what's wrong with that? I have a feeling you're a feminist and you got offended that he said the word girl. Oh boy. So let's hear your stupid explanation why that's bad. Go on.
And I start looking around, wondering why they would let a child into the bar.
No, you ding dong, that's not what they meant. They meant girl as in the woman sitting next to them. Sometimes guys call women girls. So what? Stop trying to police their language, okay? Not everybody's gonna conform to the same thing that you do, okay? Jeez.
Then I realized that when he said girl, he meant woman.
Yeah, no kidding. A light bulb must have went on in your head, didn't it? Sometimes women call guys boys, and sometimes guys call women girls. It's equal with both. So what's wrong with saying it? There is nothing wrong with saying it. Stop trying to police everybody's words to conform to everything that you do.
But since she's in that super narrow age range between 5 years old and 55 years old, we just don't know what to call her.
How about we call her girl and you leave people alone and stop trying to police people's language? If you don't like what they're saying, leave the room. You don't have to stay there. Or don't go out with your guy friends. I bet they didn't want to invite you anyway. But you just came along and showed up out of nowhere and then you had to stay because they didn't want to offend you too much. It's girl. Deal with it.
So we call her a girl. Sorry, folks, I have to do this.
You have to do what? Be offended all the time? You can't just leave something alone without being offended all the time. We can never invite you anywhere, can we? Because you're going to be offended all the time by what somebody says. Here's one thing you can do: learn not to be offended all the time and learn to accept that some people say different things than you do. Just learn to accept that, okay? Think about that.
We have to stop calling women girls.
Here's a new suggestion. How about I call her whatever I want? As long as I'm not calling her a rude name, why does it matter to you? If you don't like what I'm calling her, leave the room and just leave me alone. Stop trying to police what I'm saying, okay? It will get annoying.
Why? Because it matters what we call people. Language matters. Words have meaning.
Language doesn't matter. What somebody else calls somebody else is none of your business. And also, words do not have meaning unless you give them power, okay? Words do not have meaning unless you give them power. Words mean nothing, okay? They mean nothing. They're like will fly against the wall. But if you choose to give them power and choose to get offended all the time, then they will mean something, okay? There's something for you to think about, okay?
And the way we use words changes the way we frame things in our mind. Google Sapper Whorf if you don't believe me.
I did look it up. And now let me read it to you guys. It's a theory developed by Edward Sapir and Benjamin Lee Whorf that states the structure of language determines or greatly influences the modes of thought and behavior characteristic of the culture in which it is spoken. Also called the Whorfian hypothesis. Origin of Sapir-Whorf hypothesis explained. Yes, sometimes the way we speak, yeah, changes our behavior, but that doesn't mean you can use it to be offended all the time. That's not what it says. It says you can be influenced by what somebody says, yeah, but it doesn't say you should be offended and like get offended at what somebody's saying all the time. It says you can be influenced by what somebody's saying, but not to be offended by what somebody's saying all the time. So you actually had the theory backwards. You actually got the theory wrong.
It's science.
Yes, it is science, but you got the theory wrong.
So when we use words to describe adult women that are typically used to describe children, it changes the way we view women, even unconsciously.
No, it doesn't. When I say, hey, there's a girl over there, I might want to go talk to her, it doesn't change the way I see women. It doesn't say, oh man, I see women as little girls from now on. I'm not gonna treat them as equals. Like, what in the world are you talking about? It does not change the way you view women at all just because you say, oh, I like a girl. How can you equate the two? It's really, really confusing to me. Really, really dumb and really confusing to me how you can equate it to oh, if you say this, you must not view women as equals or any more greater than you. That's really dumb. Really, really dumb of you. Oh boy.
So that we don't equate them with adult men. In fact, it implies that they're inferior to men.
No, it doesn't. Stop fear mongering.
Even if that's not what most people intend, words have an impact on our unconscious.
Words only have meaning in your subconscious, you mean, if you give them power. Words mean nothing. They're just like something thrown against the wall, and it will do nothing. Words don't have meaning unless you give them power. Jeez, stop acting like words have a bunch of power around here. You're acting like words are like an apple falling on top of you. That's not the case at all. Words are like a cloud of cotton balls falling on you. It's not going to do anything to
Case
you.
in point, you would never say to someone, go ask that boy behind the bank counter if the notary's here today.
You know men get called boys too, right? Example, I'm 23. My mom says my boys when she's talking about me and my brother. She always says my boys are doing this, my boys are doing that, my boys are doing well in school, my boys are doing well on YouTube or whatever. And I love her for that. And I don't mind that whatsoever. I don't get offended. Love you, mom. So yeah, the word boy is not that bad, and the word girl is not that bad. Learn to get over things, okay?
We never call men boys because it's demeaning and emasculating.
Yes, men do get called boys all the time. And no, ma'am, in no way it is emasculating whatsoever. It's really not. And if somebody chose to be emasculated by that, that's them. But that's not all men that choose to be emasculated by that. So you saying all men get emasculated by that word is ridiculous.
And are there women who don't mind being seen as diminutive because they think that men should be in charge and that they should be tender and delicate? Of course.
Well, yeah, all women are different. Okay, if we were all the same in this world, it'd be a boring world to live in, just like men are different. Like I said, if we were all the same in this world, it would be a boring world to live in. Nobody would want to live in it.
And there are all kinds of men and women, and I promise that's okay. But to these women, I would say the following. There is a thing that happens when we grow up in the kind of male centered culture that
Where in the world do you get it is a male centered culture? Where? Where do you get this idea? Where in your gender studies courses? Because I tell you, that's the only place that it exists. Outside in the world, no, it does not exist like that. There are not only men that are walking around on the streets, there's men and women walking around on the streets, my friend. But where in the world do you get it that's a male centric culture? Get out of here with that.
we live in. We start to believe that the way things are is the way they have to be.
No, not really. You can change things. You can do something with your life instead of whinching and complaining. But that doesn't mean it's a male centric culture. It really doesn't. You can change something, yeah. You can go and change something and do something with your life, yeah. That's up to you to do something with your life and go and change something. But if you don't sit there and complain that nothing has changed. You didn't do something. It's not Guy's fault that you didn't do something and go and change something that you want to change.
we start taking on the biases and judgments of women which have been in place since an historical time when women weren't respected or even allowed into the public sphere.
Honey, listen. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Are you listening? Are you listening? Are you listening? It's not the 1950s anymore. It's 2017. It's no longer like that. So stop digging into the past to push your
The
narrative.
terms we're using for women are outdated and insensitive, and they assume a structure of power.
They're outdated and insensitive to who? You? Really? Not to anybody else. What anybody else calls somebody else is none of your business. As long as they're not calling them a name or a slur or something, why should it matter to you? Why should it matter to you at all?
Where men
Gee,
are on the top and women are on the bottom. And in
sweetie, I don't know if you knew, that's not how it works anymore. That's not really how it works anymore.
certain eras and in certain parts of this country and the world, this kind of thinking has persisted for far longer than it should have.
And yes, I do agree it's a problem in third world countries like in the Middle East and stuff. Yes, I do agree. But you're happily sitting here complaining in the West where that thing does not occur. That really confuses me. Really, really confuses me. Really, it really
And
does.
we know better now. It's up to us to change this narrative. To those of you who call women girls, I say this.
Oh boy, here's a big shining messaging moment about to tell us to put us in our place. Oh boy.
I know your intentions are probably good, but I hope you can learn to see the unintended and negative impact your words can have.
No, I call anybody anything I want. As long as I'm not calling them a name or a slur, why should it matter to you? It really, really should matter to you, sweetie. So I'm sorry, your little speech right there didn't do much for me. I'm gonna keep saying what I'm saying because I can. It's my First Amendment right to do that, and it's your First Amendment right to walk off and stop talking to me and stop being offended all the time.
And if you're feeling confused about whether or not to call someone a girl, let me help you out.
How about no? How about you walk away from me and let me do what I want to do in my life and stop trying to police what I'm doing?
Here's how it goes. Decide if the human being in front of you is, in fact, a girl.
Yeah, we can tell the difference between men and women. It's not that hard, unless you failed biology. So you don't have to check out to see if the person is a girl or not. You can call women girls. It doesn't matter. Not every woman is offended like you, my friend. Not every woman is.
Indications that she may, in fact, be a woman are a high school diploma, a job, a car she pays insurance on, a mortgage, a home she calls her own, or a 401k.
That doesn't indicate woman. That indicates a grown adult. Yeah, but that doesn't indicate woman. What does this have to do with anything? Jeez. Oh boy.
Girls tend to be under the age of 18 and typically live with their parents.
Yeah. Girl. A young or relatively young woman. A young woman of specific kind or has a specific job. Women who mix socially or belong to a particular group, team, or profession. A person's girlfriend. Yeah, women can be called girls, just like men can be called boys. Okay, why are you getting so butthurt over this? Jeez. Oh my lord.
Being a mom is usually a very strong indication that someone is, in fact, a woman.
Yes, okay. What's your point here?
And the thing we need to start doing as women, and for those of you out there who may not be women but who know and love women, is to consistently, gently, kindly, and politely correct people when they call women girls.
How about no? How about I leave people alone and let people call whatever they want? As long as they're not calling somebody out of their name or calling somebody a slur, why should it matter to you? I'm not gonna go correct somebody's speech. You're not the one that's gonna get punched out if you try to do that. Go try to correct somebody's speech and see what happens. Especially if you're a guy and go try to correct somebody's speech. You're gonna get your lights knocked out. Okay? So leave people alone and let people do what they want to do in their lives. Like I said, as long as they're not calling nobody a sir, why should
I've
it
found a few ways
matter?
to do this that only make people hate me after I walk away. To my face, they seem pretty receptive to it. When someone
I would disagree with you when you're right there and when you walk away. I say, man, this girl is crazy. Did you see that? Man, this girl crazy. You know what I'm saying?
refers to someone as a girl and I know she's a woman, I'll say so.
That's you. Not everybody else in the world. Not everybody else is like you. So stop trying to make everybody else in the world like you. We already have one of you. We don't need many ones of you, okay? We don't need that. It would be an agonizing
Sometimes say
headache.
things like, she's got a full-time job and 150 people on payroll. I'm pretty sure she's a woman.
Again, that is you. Stop trying to police everybody, okay? You want to say that? Say it. But don't tell somebody else to try and say it, okay? Don't.
And I'll smile. Because you get more flies with honey. Or if
Uh, your smugness knows no bounds, does it?
someone says to me, your publicist is such a great girl, I'll say, she's the COO. That makes her a woman.
And if I was that guy, I would say, stop trying to correct me, okay? Please stop trying to correct me, or else I won't hire you or your COO ever again, okay?
And who knows, maybe if we start using language that elevates women and doesn't equate them with sweet, small, cuddly, tender things, we'll start treating them as more than that as well.
Okay, this video does the exact opposite of that, okay? This video makes women seem like they're small and meek and they're afraid of what a guy says and they're afraid of when a guy says girl. You make women seem weak, which women are not weak. I can tell you that. Women are not weak. You're doing the exact opposite of empowering girls. You're depowering them, my friend. So stop trying to say, oh, with this, we can actually empower girls. No. With this, you're just depowering them, making them more afraid of the world. So stop trying to give a positive message where there's no positive message to be had.
Language sets expectations. Let's set ourselves up to have women behave like mature, responsible women.
Okay, then. Stop trying to tell them that they should be afraid when a guy says girl.
In this
That's a
way,
start.
we encourage women to keep being the complicated, wonderful, unique, gifted beings that they are. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel.
So, my electrolytes, what did we learn today? We learned that women should be afraid when a guy says girl and that we should police everybody's language. Oh, boy. So that's going to be it for me and my electrolytes. Thank you for joining me with this video. I will see you later, guys, and stay awesome.